and it leads me into my next topic I want to talk to you about this week. I want to touch on this subject. It's something that's been very touchy subject in these past week or so. The Parkland, Florida school shooting that went on recently. It was very it's sad. I think as they said it's the 18th school shooting this year, and it's averaging about one school shooting a week, and it's only February. And I think this is something that happens entirely too much in our country. For a country that's supposed to be land of the free, land of the free and home of the brave, and it's a country that the people should feel protected and should feel they're not going to die. And it makes me sad. It makes me feel scared for people like even myself who live for me going on a college campus. I feel I shouldn't have to feel like it's somebody going to attack me. I shouldn't have to fear for people I know that's still in high school or middle school, elementary school that they might die because of one person's action. And it leads to the question: how did the guy get the gun? Because you also the argument of guns don't kill people, people kill people. And as it comes to a certain point where who's handing out these people these guns? How are they getting access to these guns? Because there are rules and there's regulations to people obtaining guns, and there's classes, there's background checks. But are they doing any good for these people? Because I'm gonna read to you. What I'm about to read to you is how people describe the school shooter, Nicholas Cruz, and I got this off the DenverPost.com. And it says in the article, school and other government records obtained Sunday showed the suspect, 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz, was diagnosed as developmentally delayed at age 3 and had disciplinary issues dating back to middle school. In February 2015, while in 8th grade, Cruz was transferred to a special school for children with emotional and behavioral issues. He stayed there until 10th grade when he was transferred to Stoneman Douglas. A month after arriving, Cruz was written up for using profanity. Last year, Cruz was expelled. And then on September 28, 2016, an investigator from the Florida Department of Children and Families visited Cruz and his mother, Linda Cruz, after he posted a video on Snapchat showing him cutting himself. The report showed that Cruz had written a racial epithet against African Americans and a Nazi symbol on his book bag, which his mother had forced him to erase. The investigator said Cruz was suffering from depression and on medication and had told Linda Cruz he planned to buy a gun, but she couldn't determine why. She said, she being the mother, she said he had been depressed after breaking up with a girlfriend who had been cheating on him. The investigator said school counselor told the investigator that Linda Cruz had always tried to help her son and followed through on his therapy and medication, but the counselor was concerned about the youth's desire to buy a gun. That's just some of the article right there. It was 3 paragraphs I just read right there. And it's obvious that the guy had a mental issue, and he was obviously not right in the head. Like they even said himself, he was developmentally delayed at the age of 3. And you see the mother was trying to help the child. So it's not the parenting that's involved that made Nicholas Cruz do the shooting. It was something inside his head. But with that being said, how was he able to get the gun? That's the greater question. How was he able to get the gun? And why aren't more people paying this guy for the man that he truly is? Why is there headlines saying that he had a troubled past, this and that? They do this, and it's very common. You see this all the time with people with school shooters. You'll see that they try to They try to make what he did was more lighthearted and try to bring up, he just had a troubled past, this and that, and they try to downplay the situation of the matter. Whereas you have, like I said, most of these school shooters, if not all of them, are white, and that's something that's something that everybody knows. Even a white person would tell you that these school shooters are white. There are videos of people reacting to this and like, why aren't nobody doing that like this? Why aren't these people being labeled as terrorists? Because that is what they are. They're committing the most terroristic crimes in our country every year, every month, every week, and yet they're not being labeled as terrorists. What is the situation with that? We even have people who are getting killed. You have African American males getting killed and still being portrayed as thugs when they are the victims. You have them getting killed by police, and people in the media are still portraying them as victims. But where you have school shooters killing people, killing 17 people, killing 20 people, killing people's children who just want to go to school every day and learn an education, you ain't label them terrorists, and you're not labeling them for the mass murders that they are. Whereas you're labeling somebody who gets shot by a policeman as a thug, as a reject of society. But you're willing to pay sympathy to a white man who's killing innocent people, killing children that could be your child one day. How does that make you feel? When you over here labeling somebody who looks similar to me as a thug. Granted, some of them may have they may have features that some of them portray as a thug, but it doesn't give you the right to go out and call them a thug when you calling a mass murderer a victim of a troubled past and trying to build sympathy for them, but throw hatred towards somebody, African American male who just lost their lives. Look at the way they handled the Philando Castile situation. Look how they painted him. Look how they painted Trayvon Martin. Look how they painted these people that were killed innocently, African American males being killed, and how they labeled them as thugs. As you have people say, "Oh, they deserved it." I remember when I was in high school when the Trayvon Martin incident happened, and I remember the war on Twitter with people that's in high school discussing, and it was split because there were people who I went to school with who felt that Trayvon Martin deserved it. And you had people who didn't feel like he deserved it. Now, of course, I'm on the side who felt like he didn't deserve it, because the evidence is clear, paint dry right there. You see that the man was being followed and stalked because they said he didn't belong in the neighborhood, and he out in a hoodie carrying around an Arizona tea and some Skittles. And I don't see where people felt like he deserved that. And it's just something in this country that just boggles my mind. And you have Trump out here, President Trump, like, with him being in the White House, it's bringing out more of these social issues, more of these problems now, because these problems have always been existed in our country for decades and centuries, going all the way back to when people was bought here. But when we had Obama in office, these problems were starting to come. And when Trump even got elected to office, it became more of a problem because you have Trump having people come out to show out their true colors and their true natures towards people of my kind and other races that are not white. So it's just a big issue. What I see as a solution to stuff like this, to the whole gun violence and the school shootings, is take these guns away from these people who are not deemed mentally straight. Because I was also watching another video this past weekend of this news reporter, a sports reporter on a news show, basically doing the same thing I'm doing, pleading for a change in this country when it comes to stuff like this. And he said himself that a person emailed him and said that he's going to save his last bullet to shoot the reporter dead in the face. And the reporter said the reporter himself is a white man. And the reporter even himself said that he guaranteed the person who wrote the email is white. Of course he is. Because you have these people, they feel like they need their guns, what they need it for. What are they protecting themselves against? Because these be the same type of people who are saying they need their guns for protection. They be the same one causing the problem. And I'm I ain't gonna go too much in depth with it right now because it's like I said, it's the passion podcast right here. We like to keep things go fun, get cover the topics, but it's just something I just want to touch on because it's something that's been near and dear to my heart. You know, with me being an African American, a young African American male, and have to see stuff like this and have to worry if I'm gonna be the next one on the news being portrayed as a thug. Am I gonna be the next one on the news being involved in a mass shooting, being a victim, being dead? My mom, my dad, my brothers, my sister, my friends crying because my life got taken away by somebody who had problems at home, who got access to a gun, but no one can explain how he got access to the gun. So, like I said, this is just problems that need to be addressed in our country, and I think President Trump needs to address this. And in my head, I'm thinking that he won't make any changes, but someone has to put a stop to stuff like this. This has to end. This can't continue on no more in this country. We can't live in sorrow and pain. You gotta remember the Vegas shooting wasn't too long ago as well, and that was done by another white male. So this stuff is happening. When is it ever going to end? When is it ever going to end? When are we ever going to feel safe in this country? When?